Good afternoon, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are. How are you doing? I know it's been a while, but I hope everybody is doing good. We're going to talk a little bit about severe weather, severe weather outlook today. Uh, Possibility if the storms stay surface based, we could get some tornadoes. Um, could get one or two strong tornadoes as well. We are um, looking at an enhanced risk of severe thunderstorms this evening and tonight over portions of the lower Middle Ohio Valley and across a small part of northern Illinois and southeast Wisconsin. That's just this little piece up here. We're mainly focused on the lower and middle Ohio Valley. That's where we'll see the impact of large hail, some strong winds, and possibly a couple tornadoes. So we'll go over the tornado risk. As you can see, there's an enhanced significant risk for Louisville, Kentucky, Evansville, Indiana, Owensboro, Kentucky, Fairfield, Ohio, and Columbus, Indiana. Hatched area is 10% or greater probability of EF2 to EF5 tornado within 25 miles of any point. Those cities that I named um, is cities that's in the significant risk. So I want you to understand and know that these cities aren't going to likely be affected. It's just those are the most populous cities in that area. Added up to about 3.2 million people live in that um, hatched area risk. Then if you go up into Chicago, Indianapolis, Columbus, Ohio, uh, Cincinnati, and Fort Wayne, Indiana, you're in that 5% risk, and then 2% Detroit, Milwaukee, Cleveland, St. Louis, and Toledo, Ohio. But again, like I said, we're focusing on the hatched area right now. So we will look in a little bit at the radar. As of right now, I'm going to discuss about what it looks like fast moving southern stream shortwave trough over the Central Plains, currently tracking eastward towards, and it will begin to affect that area by late afternoon, early evening. Most guidances suggest that at least isolated thunderstorm development will begin around or after dusk. So dusk, when the sun goes down, that's when it will likely you'll start to see more thunderstorms. As a large scale forcing overspread, the northern extent moist unstable air mass from southwest Missouri into southern Illinois. These storms will intensify and track eastward overnight, roughly along the Ohio River. So if we show, doesn't show, the Ohio River is kind of like in this area. Initial storms may be discrete with sufficient vertical shear for supercell structures capable of all severe hazards. That's from tornadoes, hail, damaging winds. As the night progresses, after about 7 p.m. tonight, activity will likely evolve into fast-moving, bowing structure with an enhanced risk of damaging wind gusts and a few tornadoes. A strong tornado or two cannot be ruled out. It has been upgraded from earlier, as it was in a slight risk, to an enhanced risk area for this scenario overnight. Any questions on that? Please share the stream, and make sure you hit that like. That means a lot um, to me when it's free. It's when I look back at a video and I see likes, it does mean a lot more than anything else, if you ask me. So, any more questions on that? So let's move over to the wind. You do have the enhanced risk in that kind of same area. The Cincinnati, Ohio, Louisville, Kentucky, Dayton, Ohio, Evansville, Indiana, and Hamilton, Ohio. Population is just a little over 6 million people in that hatched area. Hail. Hail is a big, very populous area where the hatched area is. You got a 10 or 15%, and you got a 30% in there inside the hatched area. The hatched area significantly is Chicago, Indianapolis, Milwaukee, Fort Wayne, Indiana, and Aurora, Illinois. That 30% over the hatched area, it's almost 18 million people could be affected by hail. Now, not at any significant point. The ingredients have to be right. For like tornadoes, I said it's gotta stay surface based. If it's not surface based, there's not gonna be there's gonna be some capping, and you're not gonna you might see a well, it's gonna be dark out, but I don't see a tornado outbreak from this. Do I see a severe weather outbreak? Likely. Probably some strong winds, damaging winds, and some moderate to large hail. Possibility of larger than 2 inches. And that could affect the Chicago area. It could affect Indianapolis. Very populated cities. Okay, any questions? Thank you for the like. Make sure you guys like it. It means a lot to me. Hey Layla. Hey Heather. Hey Lilith. Good to see you guys. Really is. So we're currently where I am. We're currently in a blizzard warning. We got about 8 inches of snow, and it is rough outside. It's terrible outside. Yesterday it was almost 60 degrees, and the temperature dropped about 37 degrees in a couple hours. So it was a pretty crazy uh thing. Our winter has been very mild. I am. It's good to see you, Templar. I am still in North Dakota. Um and this winter has been fairly mild, all the way up into like the Manitoba, even into Canada, some areas in Canada. Then you got some Montana areas that's been fairly mild, but that's due to the El Nino. And the El Nino, I didn't plan on talking about all this, but might as well, because I'm sure you are excited to hear my voice. Sure you're excited to hear that I'm back and alive. So I'm very thankful for you guys to come in. But the El Nino um, has really affected the nation. I actually would say it really affected North America um, as a whole. It has affected a lot of things weather-wise. It's weird. Yesterday was 97, I think, in parts of Texas. We've had um, 3, 4 atmospheric rivers that went through California, Southern California, Central California. We've even had snow amounts in Northern California into the Nevada areas that's exceeded more than they've gotten in a very long time. We had at one point Los Angeles was totally flooded. Um, Same with I think it was San Diego. That south of they were totally flooded. It has been a very different year. If you look, and I really, you know, I love every state in the United States. Not too fond of the some states, but weather is very important to me. And even when I wasn't streaming, I say this in my Discord. Even when I wasn't streaming, I still pay attention to the weather. Because, like I said, weather means a lot to me. But if you look here, yesterday, all the Midwest going into the Northern Plains, including South Dakota, southern part of South Dakota, was in a red flag warning. And remember, this is February 26th, 2014 or 2024. They were all in red flag warning. That is insane. Definitely for this late or this early in the year. There's a lot of things that is going on. We'll get back to severe weather and then I'll come back to this because I'm getting off topic and that is something that I didn't want to do. So we're gonna go over here. We're gonna talk a little bit about the multiple hazard threats that I already discussed at the beginning of the stream. Hail probability, you see that it's hatched area. Wind probability, this is damaging winds of 70 plus mile per hour. And a few overnight tornadoes are possible. So hail, it says quarter to golf ball size hail, maybe even more. I know that Some of you have been in hailstorms. Some of you have seen pictures. But I can tell you that hail is hail is not fun. It is not like heavy rain. Um, it's not fun. So if you have anything outside that you don't want damaged, I suggest you bring it into your garage or do something that's safe. And do it before it starts hailing. Don't do it while. The 70 plus mile per hour winds, it likely could be straight line winds. Some gusts could be exceeding, so it says 70 plus mile per hour winds. Some gusts could exceed that. In some areas you might get, I don't know, just north of this, or actually in this hatched area, you might see 20 to 35 mile per hour winds. And then you'll be like, oh, James said we're going to get stronger winds. Then you go look at the National Weather Service, and it says this. Like I said, in the hatched area is 25 miles at any point. So if you go down in southern Illinois, and I don't know, any major cities down there, if you go down there, 25 miles from that major city could receive 70 plus mile per hour. So it's not very it's a huge area, but it's not, if you know what I mean. Like we've Heather, you and I, and a lot of us people that have subscribed to this channel, that are in my Discord, we've seen larger when hatched areas. We've seen derechos that go several states, and this does go several states. Tornado probability. We've discussed that if it says surface based, we could have a strong 1 to 2 tornadoes. Not out of the question. I do not know that other weather people, well known, like Reed Timmer, he was very confident about a possible tornado outbreak today. And then I think it was yesterday or the day before he came back and said, and it's looking there's a lot of capping in there, and temperatures, you get on that cold front, and if the cold front is behind the dry line, it's kind of weird looking. And that's very possible. We've seen in the past in Illinois. Illinois is great. It's well known of that big tornado watch, PDS tornado watch in central and northern part of Illinois. That was a complete bust. When I say bust, I mean there wasn't much. Like when a PDS tornado watch is issued, there's likely several strong to significant and very long tracking tornadoes. So, Illinois has been known for that. And this early in the year, it's not uncommon, but it's not common. You usually don't see this, but you usually don't see North Dakota in 60 and 65, 67 degree weather either. So, this year is a very, very odd year, and it's going to go downhill really fast. We can discuss that after I get done talking about the severe weather. Was just talking to my cousin because my birthday's coming up soon. But that is how it is going. The severe weather. I want you to stay aware of the area, the issues. There will likely be a tornado watch issued for a good percent of probably southern Illinois into Kentucky, probably a good percent of Indiana, southern Indiana, and into Ohio wouldn't surprise me. And I don't know, they might put. Let's see, they might put Missouri. Maybe. Maybe a little bit of Missouri, south of St. Louis. Because you can see in this map St. Louis. South of St. Louis, kind of on that corner. They may put that in a tornado watch. I don't think a severe thunderstorm watch will be issued. And if it is, it's going to be further to the west. I think the National Weather Service, the SBC, is very over this past, I don't know, Heather could probably tell you what the past 5-10 years, um, they've been very adamant on putting more tornado watches out than severe thunderstorm watches. It hasn't been 10 years, maybe 5 years. But again, they do that to prepare you. Sometimes it's a little hype, and a lot of people take advantage of it. I am, Damon. Good to see you. Good to see you, Jay. Good to see everyone. Make sure you guys hit that like button. Share the stream out. I really appreciate it. So, any questions on that area? The severe weather in that area. We will look at some models. No, Layla, it won't get you an Ottawa. Any questions? Make sure you guys, if you guys are new, welcome. I really do appreciate it. Subscribe and hit that notification bell. And make sure you like. So we can discuss other things. If you wanna, feel free to ask any questions, because I will take any questions. I remember all of you guys. I'm gonna have to translate that. Uh, I will get to that. In Puerto Rico, it is raining, but also in Puerto Rico, severe weather can occur. There will be strong storms in Puerto Rico. Some storms, some thunder will be felt in Puerto Rico. Is that where you're? Is that where you're from? So some El Ninos last a long time. This El Nino is not lasting very long. I can I should have had this all pulled up. Hey, you guys don't mind spending time with me, right? Heather, will you translate that and put that in chat, please? Jay, can you, if you can't speak English, it's alright. Trying to find some information. I should have had it up. So, yeah, I can say that probably between the April-June, it'll become neutral, if that makes any sense. Between April and June. And then the La Nina will happen probably late, mid to July. And what does that mean? Well, the past 3 years we were, I think 3 or 2 years, we were in La Nina. And, you know, it affects, big time, it affects, the ocean waters. Definitely in the Pacific. Now, there's all kinds of, speculations. Oh, this is gonna happen. This is gonna happen. This is gonna happen. I am not on that train. I usually don't get on that train because, you know, anybody could say this or that, and um, that's just that's just that. Yeah, there's a video. Yeah, Heather, I'm not jumping that train. I'm not declining or saying it's gonna because, you know, it's Mother Nature. Uh, Anything can happen. Anything. So, let's watch this video. Is it loud? Can you guys even hear it?
Warmer or colder than average ocean temperatures in one part of the world can influence weather.
This is on NOAA.
Boggles the mind, right? Here's how it works. During normal conditions, trade winds, which blow from east to west, push warm surface waters towards Asia, piling it up in the western Pacific. In some years, though, the trade winds weaken. The warm surface water moves eastward and reduces upwelling of cold water off the coast of South America. Climatologists call this El Niño. Its climate impacts show up mostly in the wintertime over North America. The warmer ocean fuels an intensification and southward shift of the jet stream. This brings flooding to the southern United States and warmer, drier conditions over parts of the Pacific Northwest, northern US, and Canada. But eventually, those trade winds pick up again and sometimes become even stronger than normal. When that happens,
you guys hear it?
they blow the warm water back into the western Pacific, and restart the upwelling of cool water towards the surface in the eastern Pacific. These strong trade winds are a signature of what is called La Niña, unusually cold conditions in the tropical Pacific that displace the jet stream northward. La Niña can lead to drought in the southern U.S. and cooler temperatures, heavy rains, and flooding in the Pacific Northwest.
So
El Niño and La Niña,
as you can see there,
together are part of a cycle.
as you can see there, La Nina is very common for drier conditions for the southern part of the United States, going into Mexico and Central America. It's very common. When you're in an El Nino, usually the Pacific water temperature is 1 to 2 degrees Celsius or warmer. That's how you significantly say that we're kind of we're basically in an El Nino. I think this year in some parts we were about 6 to 8 degrees Celsius. That's like between 10 and 15 to 17 degrees warmer than normal. But that wasn't the whole part. That was just spots. As you can see up here, on the left hand side it says cooler than normal. I didn't even see that. But as you can see, if we go back, they show this graph again. Oh, here you can go. So since just right off the Baja California and into the coast of California, and then Central America to South America, pretty pretty intense El Nino. This is actually further up a little bit. I don't even. Is this even current? I don't think this is current. Because El Nino was really affecting Central America, Central Mexico. I don't know. I couldn't tell you. But I do know that the waters, like in Hawaii and all that stuff, it was much warmer than usual. And that's what put out, I think it was top 10 strongest El Ninos. I haven't seen the ending of the El Nino stats and stuff, statistics.
El Niño and La Niña together are part of a cycle that influences extreme weather and can impact food production, water supply, and even human health, not just in the U.S., but in many parts of the globe.
So, like they said there, it could affect egg culture. Could affect it's drought. It's very very dry up in the northern plains, into Montana all the way over like Michigan. Drier. And even some parts of the South is still struggling. I can tell you, there's a few states that are not in drought and usually are in drought. Maine is California. That is, I was looking into it. It's been a long time that the whole state has been out of moderate to severe drought. I think there's not even cities in drought anymore. The last or couple atmospheric rivers that went through Los Angeles, Southern California, they were saying that the amount of rain in 24 hours is the amount of rain that they get in a year. So that explains something. I don't think all California. I think there's a little bit in the southern part. Yeah, not all. You got some up here in the northern part, the eastern part, and the southern part. But no towns. Like there's no towns that are affected. So California, technically, there is 7.03 in drier conditions, abnormally dry. And normally, if you look to 1 year ago, you had moderate drought, moderate to severe drought. And estimated population hasn't changed. Drought areas, 0 for the population. You can look, if you remember this summer, Louisiana was in the worst drought that they've ever been in history. Um, they've gotten some good rain over good percent of the time. Uh, Nevada and New Mexico, they're in drought. If you look up here in the north, like I told you earlier, that's we're abnormally dry to drought, and then you have Iowa. I don't know why Iowa's. I don't pay attention to Iowa. I should. Yeah, they're in extreme drought. So I am not reading this summary. Here's the talking about the atmospheric river. There's been several. Uh, have they? Part of Iowa. Part of Iowa. Let's see. Go over here. And we go here. Let's just go here. And what was that location I was looking at? Cedar Rapids. Since December, you guys are below average in snowfall. You guys. I have no idea what I'm doing, to be honest with you. Um, so take this as a grain of salt. I have no idea what I'm doing because I do not study droughts. I do not study ag. I do not study hydrological issues. I do know that animals in the north are really going to struggle this year. Do you guys keep an eye on the Climate Prediction Center? You guys ever keep an eye on these? I always look at these. February 8th. Yeah, just just looking at this. So these are the kind of like spaghetti models. These are different models. Um, Farmer Farmer's Almanac. No, the CPC is Climate Prediction Center, so they kind of predict into the future, but it's not like the Farmer Almanac. They kind of go in depth on some things with like the drought and stuff. But I do know that the main one that a lot of people look at is this dark kind of greenish, right? Um, and April, May, June, May, June, July, looking like it's getting close to June, July, August. Look, gonna drop below El Nino stage. Most of the models, both dynamic and statistical models, are showing that it's going to be already dropped below the neutral zone. You still got this is this one right here is a statistical model, and this one right here is BCC. That's dynamic um, model. So the green right up here it says stat. Blue is kind of the CPC. I'm assuming that's the Climate Prediction Center. Like I said, I don't look into this, but it's interesting. Um, so, Cat 6. I know that there were some people talking about should we add a Cat 6? Uh, all that talk. Good talk. So you still see over Central America. Um, can you guys see this? Central America is still very strong. El Nino, and you even go up into like the Mexico. Or no, that's not Central America. What am I talking about? Um, it's over here. Central America's right here. So we kind of look at the anomalies and the analysis of sea surface temperature. That's SST. And like I said, Central America, southern Mexico was fairly strong and warm sea surface temperature. I don't even know what we're looking at there. It's February 22nd. Central America, United States, Mexico, Baja California. California is up here. Um, 0 to 5 still in a good chunk of the areas, more than it would be historically. We go back 2023, half the year we were in La Nina. 2022, La Nina. 2021, La Nina half the year in 2020. La Nina, the other half was neutral. 2019, half the year was in El Nino, and then the other half was in neutral. Um, the longest it looks like we've seen an El Nino in the past decade was 10 years ago, 2014. September, October, November it started, past the neutral zone, or the neutral sea surface temperatures of 0.5, and it went all the way until March, April, May of 2016. So that was a fairly long. If I remember right, there was some strong hurricanes in those that that year. Severe weather was fairly strong. There was several big events in 2016. Uh, isn't when the Easter outbreak was? I cannot remember. I'm not thinking about that right now. But there was several outbreaks I know in the period between 2013 and 2017 that was historical outbreaks. I don't I don't see 57 all the way to 59. You see 60 all the way to 63 almost, all neutral. Is that when the Easter outbreak was? Did you look it up? So that if so, then that was a neutral. So yeah, that's what we look at there. Oh, here's Central America, and look how warm it is. February 26th, 2020? Oh, yeah, that might, yeah, Easter outbreak. It was in 2016. Yeah, so I won't discuss um, the hype train of hurricane season or, the El Nino to La Nina switch because I'm not hopping on that train right now. It's too early. But you can see that just in this graph, you can see that 100% for El Nino, and then you're getting down to the April, March, June. Um, you got a little bit of a chance La Nina. You see that neutral is up at the 75%, 60 some percent, and you start seeing that change into the La Nina September, October, November, the end of the year. So they said transition expected April to June season 2024, Enzo neutral persisting through May, July 2024. Thereafter, La Nina is favored in June, August. Chance increases through the September, November season. We looked at this already earlier. Kind of a different thing to look at. So it has been very, very warm up in the northern part of north central part of North America, or central part of North America. It's gonna be probably not much longer unless anybody's got questions. Like I say, feel free to ask them. Look into the March May. Starts to switch to the equal chance. Still warmer than seasonal average. Yeah. So any questions? Questions? Concerns? I have. Some of that footage is good footage. Some of that footage is actually real footage, and then some of it's CGI. Is what good? Yeah. Anybody have questions? Concerns? Wondering about anything? You want to know about the snowfall in my neck of the woods? 6.4. It's higher than that though. Yeah, that trailer's gonna be or that the movie's gonna be I think a very good movie. I look forward to watching it. Um, if I have the audience, then yes. Hmm. Blizzard warning. Uh, oh, well, I hope everybody has a good day, and I for sure will talk at you guys later. Thank you guys for tuning in, and make sure you guys stay weather.